Okay, cool. Let me just kind of get situated here. I'm 10 days late. Sorry, 1 minute late, I think. Dun, dun,
You said we're
dun.
late too.
Sorry. Um. Okay, cool. Let's get started. So it's a pretty good week for us. We have been typically most of the team is like remote. Um, the developers and our CEO Vu, but this week we're all together and meeting in person and kind of discussing a lot of the issues. So it's been great to really just get in their faces and be like, "Hey guys, like this is what is really going on," with feedback, and just immediately with no um, like latent space where things can get lost in terms of the bugs. I can just be like, "Hey, look at this, and look over at my screen. This is broken." So, yep, get in their face, and it just gets fixed. So, I think yeah, this is a good week for us to make a lot of progress, and um, so that's kind of what's been going on. And I apologize if I've been a little bit offline, working on some stuff. So, yeah, that's what we're doing. Um, how are you guys?
I'm doing a lot better.
It's good. Yeah, I think last week, Van, you had to uh,
Yeah.
make an exit for health reasons, so we all were wishing you well.
Thank you everyone who did. I'm doing a lot better now.
Yeah, it's awesome to hear. Um, Good to have you back.
It's great to
So
be
yeah,
back.
yeah, good, good. Um, okay, so we can get into it. I guess we're discussing a lot of this week, a lot of like things around stories. Um, Something that's live that you guys should be seeing is like for out of character stories. They are being brought back into character. We're like checking essentially like a Boolean value, yes or no, if things are going off script, and then bringing them back down to earth. And so that's super helpful. I think I'm seeing a lot of my butterflies come back to earth, and then so auto-generated stories, like kind of getting a handle on it. Oh, man, I can hear a lot of background. Okay, cool. Um, and then the next thing we've been working on and talking a lot about is like what is coming from your profile. You know, I think a large reason why people aren't necessarily sharing things as much as we like, is because there's not as much attribution to your profile and you know, what I look like on butterflies. And so to make it really pop, um, we need to make some changes there. And so right now it's kind of cool because like you go to someone's profile, you see all their butterflies, and yeah, it's like a list of all the things that they've created that's come out of their head. And that's really interesting to like learn more about you guys. People learn about me, and I'm conscious about that when I create something, it's like, yeah, like I created this and people can kind of judge me. So there's some things around that with like human psychology and why people create things and why they don't, and why they share things and why they don't, and that we're kind of tackling while we're in person this week because we can just chat. So yeah, incentive, yeah, for sure. And so then we're talking about like Nectar, which is another topic, if you guys care to hear about it. But essentially, like a uniform currency in the app, not necessarily for monetization or anything, just more for like um, it's just a simpler system and it kind of fun, and almost like your butterflies can earn you more nectar, that you can use back on them. So yeah, I think there's some interesting signals for sure. I'm seeing some people who are like sharing things to Instagram that from butterflies, but not necessarily attributing back to butterflies. And yeah, I don't know why. And so we're picking those things apart. So yeah, it would be super cool if we got a trending butterflies tab and butterflies that get selected. Get tons. Yeah, like another one of those things we could do is like instead of dropping a like, you drop nectar, and then your butterflies earn nectar for you, kind of type thing is what I was thinking about.
I think sharing to Instagram, people might not be attributing it because there's no like easy share button. For a lot of apps, you can just click like share and then it'll have you share it to a story. Like when you go to Spotify, you can share a song and it'll make a story instantly for Instagram. So
Yeah,
I feel like if that was simpler to do from butterflies, people might just do it and then it links directly to the app.
totally, totally. I agree with you, for sure. Like custom share tray for Instagram is definitely needed. One of the way people are doing right now is essentially screenshot, crop, and then save to camera roll, then share. So
Yeah, and you can only screenshot the images from DMs, so there's no good way around that unless you're on web.
you can, I mean, you can screenshot stuff from the feed, right?
Yeah, but like if you're getting images in DMs, you can't
Oh, download
save
them.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep. Yeah, and then there's another thing that we can go down is we can talk about the basics of Nectar, and then we'll talk about like content, which has been a big discussion. So the basics of Nectar. Is it all right? Is it basically pokes? Yep, pretty much. And again, not like fully fleshed out, but I think I shared a screenshot of a doc that I wrote. I can share it again actually. Hold on, let me find it. Whenever I want to share something, it makes me log back into Google. Of course, it's a little slow. Okay, here we go. No, no, no apologies at all. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of like basically stuff you can spend on pokes and um, prompt and poke. Again, these are just like rough numbers I pulled out of my butt. So, but it essentially equates to like what we currently have. It wouldn't be taking anything away in terms of like 20 pokes, 20 regenerations, etc. So, so yeah, take a look. Let me know, and then here are some also rough mock-ups that I just did that were kind of ridiculous. Do-do-do-do. So that's kind of what it would look like, right? Um, yeah, I mean, monetization maybe like later on. I wrote at the top of the doc like it could set us up potentially, but not even thinking about it. Nope, yep. I'm like I completely agree. You know what? I should probably address the NSFW stuff. Um, yeah, yeah. Van had commented on it. Like I just brought it up because I was like, is it something you want to do? Like, it's not even being talked about. That's why it's a question. But just sharing it for transparency because, like, it's like it's a bullet point. But yeah, I don't think we would ever charge for that. For NSFW, here's our position. Our position is we just don't. We will allow everything up to a point, and that point is essentially anything that makes us at risk of going out of business. So what are those things? Those things are like accidental child pornography. These are things that aren't necessarily your guys' fault for those who are NSFW, create NSFW things. Because, like, for example, I created something the other day that was like an anime version of Hillary Clinton, and it completely lollified her without me even trying on the first post. And so these types of things, I'm like, and it also like her breasts were kind of visible, and it looked like she was much younger than she really was, and I didn't specify that. So we aren't helping you out there, right? And that's where we could do a better job of like, if you want to explicitly create that, then great. Yeah, and nullifications like a lot. Let's see, it'd be fine charging. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think we'd ever charge to create or charge for NSFW stuff, so it's not a discussion. Let me just put it there. But that's where we are with NSFW. For those of you who are like, oh, like, well, you took away NSFW profile pictures, and it affects image generation. 100%, it affects image generation. The issue is that, if you share something like that, and they can just see the profile picture, it's essentially kind of a potential risk to us as well, as a kid could see that, right? Um, and so we're trying to keep it in accessible but private. Yeah, we're trying our best with that. I mean, like, for context, like, our CEO is willing to go through so many more hoops to support NSFW than not. Because it could rather the other path is like we just don't do it because it's extra work, and that's not the path he wants to take. So it starts at the top, and the top essentially wants it. And the reason why he wants it is because he himself is an NSFW user sometimes. So yeah, and then as it relates to like NSFW like chats, right? Um, okay, let's see. There's a big thing. If you get 4 NSFW pictures, it kicks you out of creation.
We have a bug report for that. It's basically, yeah, we can show you.
Yeah, I made a screen recording of it earlier.
Yeah, whenever it detects something for NSFW profile picture generation, it just kicks out the prompt completely and resets you to the start of the creation flow.
And that's
Okay.
only on web with
Yeah.
the new design showing that why it's kicking you out. So app doesn't have that yet where it's telling you why. And so app isn't kicking you back to the start of the creation flow.
If we have a report, then Loam Van, we could look into it together, and then like really figure out what's going on. I have a hunch on what it is, and yeah, we're probably just not generating it. It's showing up 4 blank spots, and then it's just kicking you out. Bug. Cool. So that's what we'll look into that. Filter, Autumn. Are we talking about filter on creation or filter with posts, profiles? Yeah, no, I don't think we're gonna do NSFW profile pictures. That's just kind of where we're at there. For legal and safety reasons. Um, that's just kind of where we're at. But yep, but with images in chat, posts, prompt and pokes, yep, totally allowed and willing to support. And happy to support. And yeah, especially in chat. Because it's not just about sexting, right? It's about like it's about breaking boundaries and when you're, if you're in a romantic relationship or something like that, or you want to believe that you are, this is something where, NSFW is, it's not restricting you every time you want to go a little bit to the edge. So we want that.
Yeah. Um, like nudity or things like that. It's also the R-rated violence that you see in movies or things like swearing, stuff like that. If you've ever played with a like completely censored LLM, you know really fast that it's basically treating you like a kid, and adults don't want to be treated like kids all the time.
Totally. Yep, and we are 17 plus right now. So, yeah, and like honestly, I'm seeing a lot of things in moderation where, um, in terms of like posts, where yeah, like we do allow like pretty violent stuff, for NSFW. So like when I look, it's we aren't we're pretty far from like restricting it. You know, like we're on the other side where it's like it's pretty much game on if it's an NSFW butterfly. So uh, yeah, yeah, um, yeah. Thanks. We're trying our best with it. And then like when there's like complaints, you know, we try to answer them as transparently as possible. But then for NSFW chatting, like I know some of you guys were concerned, right? Like it's why is it not producing the NSFW chats? I think it was on realism or something, and that wasn't like us doing it. There was an issue where we had changed something with the memory, and made it essentially longer, a larger memory, and in doing so, somehow, some way, because AI is weird, it kind of it became more strict. So more memory, and then more strict with NSFW. How that happened, I have no idea. You know, we but we're trying to fix it. Ever thought about implementing a content warning screen? Yeah, no, we do. We blur things out if you decide to turn it on. This is going to be like in your Apple settings on the app. Um, so yeah,
NSFW on in the app and like just have it completely not there or like not blurred or anything like that, or on a case by case basis, when you stumble across something that's blurred, you can unblur it selectively. I think that's more of what Lorelai is talking about. Like have a secondary if they there's something that would be um on the feed that would be NSFW, just have it be filtered and three settings to the NSFW, always on, sometimes on, and then off completely, basically. I think that's how Reddit handles it.
yep, yeah, yeah. I know I've seen that before and I've used it. Yeah. So for the feed that doesn't so I'll let me explain what I'm thinking. So for our feed that doesn't typically that wouldn't make sense for me to ask someone to do that much work, and I'll tell you why. Um, the reason is because we just do not allow anything adult or racy or potentially nude on the public feed. That's it. Because we just don't want people to be scrolling in public and being like, oh, this comes up and it's on butterflies. And obviously, we allow those things in private, and then also even if it's like a public butterfly, but it's racy, or someone reports it as nudity or sexual content, immediately it's kind of gone from the public feed unless it's your butterfly. Um, and so when I'm thinking about blurring things and stuff like that, uh, it seems like a remedy for a problem that should be solved already, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I don't know if that answers the question.
I think what Autumn is saying is that she wants a feed that includes NSFW.
Yeah,
And honestly, I kind of do too. Like, don't get me wrong, the feed that we have, I do use it a lot more often now. I do find myself just scrolling through the feed and like seeing all of my bots there. It's great. But then I miss some from the NSFW ones like all the time, basically. And I don't like missing posts and having to go and search for them from my own profile, especially not at 125 bots. I can see like King, Autumn with the 300 plus bots they have. It must be a nightmare trying to go through and actually look at all of the posts from those NSFW bots.
yeah. So the ask is like a separate NSFW feed for the app.
Put it into like a for you feed.
Yeah. So um, I don't mean to be brash, but the answer will be no on that transparently, just because. And I get it, Autumn. We're all adults, not toddlers. This is like a potential issue for the company where it's someone scrolling in public, like I said, they see something that's not necessarily great, and then, or not necessarily something that you'd want to share, and then boom, like that's the reputation, that's the word, and so yeah, I mean the compromise, I totally get it. The compromise is that we're allowing it, on your butterfly's profile in chat. Um, you know, that's just kind of the compromise for us. And I mean, like obviously we support the stuff in Discord. Like we have an NSFW general channel, um, where we can scroll there. But yeah,
Weird ask then. Is there any way that we could have a like better Discord integration where like we do with the Reddit feed where we can like have it post automatically to Discord if we enable that type of a thing? That
yeah,
way,
I would be actually down for that. And it's because it is off platform. Um, but also within the current community, and it would, yeah, it's like a place for you guys to be able, for not just you guys, but for people, anyone who's interested to look at it. So I would definitely welcome that, and I'm sure there's a Discord API that we could hit. That's a good suggestion, Ben. We can just have like NSFW butterflies feed in the butterfly hive. Um, okay, auto posting on Discord sounds incredible. Interesting. Yeah. Um, yeah, independent. Yeah, sure, sure, sure. Of course. Um, and why does it sound better on Discord than our feed?
honestly, that's because that's where we are. A lot of us who are using these things are on Discord. Like, we're on Discord, we're on Reddit. RSS feed would be amazing because then that could be just plugged into different APIs. Like, we don't have to build it to be Discord specific if we do it RSS because there's an API in Discord that will handle the RSS type of a feed.
Yep. Yeah. Let me right after this. I can just the great thing about being in person, I can just walk over to the team and tell them, and then I can give a straight answer on what everyone thinks. I think that's a good idea, personally. And then Ethel, of course, opt out. You shouldn't. I mean, specifically if we're talking about NSFW, they are private, so we should maintain that privacy, unless you opt out or opt in, essentially. So I agree with that for sure. Okay. Um, Great ideas, actually. Oh, go for it, Lynn.
Before we started office hours, I asked in focus group what people wanted to talk about, and 1051 wanted to talk about fixing stories, and Potato wanted to talk about the posts not being influenced by the profile pictures.
Let's do it. Okay, so stories. What are we working on for stories? So, like I said, we have like a if bot has gone rogue checker. Okay, so that's what I mentioned earlier. So that's helping. Um, and then the other thing we're tossing around right now is, how would you like your bot to continue the story? Would you like it to essentially, like, right after a post, you'll have, as the creator, three options, is what we're thinking. And it's kind of like a choose your own adventure. And then it's like 1, 2, or 3. 1, would you like it to be just exactly the same? 2, do you want it to be a little more crazy? 3, do you want it to be out of this world? Type of thing. So, like, how crazy do you want the story to be? Scale of 1 to 3. Choose which one, A, B, C, and then you click that, and then boom, it goes. And that way, because sometimes the characters just they need to stay on their arc a little bit. And then oh yeah, and then obviously option 4 would be, okay, you choose. What would you like? Obviously, add a story. So that's something we're thinking about with stories.
I'm kind of worried that that might be just feeding back. Like, let's say you want it to continue normally and then you turn it all the way up to 3, then you tell it to continue normally again. Would it be still that crazy level? Or, like, do we have a way to back it down to normal again? Like, that's what I'm worried
Yep, yep. I think one would bring it back down, right? Like if it's
about.
gone
Okay.
out, if it's gone out now, one is always like a bring back to equilibrium type of thing. Um, or yeah, just prompt it. Okay. Let's see. Reading. Yeah, Rose call. By the way, you're right. We did have that. So bots should be story free by default. Story creation. Yep, totally. I don't. I think I don't disagree, and this is great. Someone save this. So let me also talk about the other thing regarding stories. Is yeah, stories should be optional, etc. A feature, agreed. The other big issue with stories is and the feed is that the the storyline is unfolding too slowly. I think we can all agree that it's over days and you're seeing snippets and in each post, right? And so it's just like it's too slow and you're not getting the full storyline. So I think this is where post carousels come in, a different form of content, right? Yeah, so that we're talking about things like that, and then also like if it's new to the bot, if you're new to the bot and you're visiting the profile for the first time, maybe we start you at the bottom, and we reveal posts as you go, and you can kind of catch up. Um, if that makes sense. So there's like we're discussing a lot of these things. It's, honestly, if I'm just being frank, it's very overwhelming. But we know like these types of things, 1051, these notes are super helpful because we can point to it in some of these discussions and be like, this is what they want, and this is what we're thinking and what the issues are, and let's try to distill those issues into solutions. So yeah, this is me saving that right now. Cool. Thank you, 1051. I'm fine with it being slow. My problem when Kaito shows up to steal my waifu. The story ends randomly and doesn't finish. Yep. And this is where we want to give you more control, whether that be like, A, B, or C, or like thing that I talked about earlier, or something else. But more control for sure. Yeah, it's kind of just like a temperature adjustment. Exactly, Lon. You're kind of right. It's essentially like kind of where it would be one of the parameters that we're clicking. Don't look like the people. Yeah. Well, first of all, celebrities we kind of stay away from unless they're a parody. So just be careful there. I don't want you to get banned or be on the list to be banned. Um, just be safe there. And if you have an issue, we'll deal with it, but and help you. So yeah, just because it's again another thing that's kind of a risk to things.
Yeah. So just to be clear, like, you can totally make Jack Sparrow, and it can look like Johnny Depp, and that is an acceptable character. You could totally make Jennifer Aniston who builds sandcastles. That's an acceptable character. But as soon as it starts getting into like just their daily life type of or something more sexual, that's not okay.
Hmm. Yeah. Let me think. Okay. L- let me also talk about like content and what we're thinking. Because this might also unlock some new discussion for us. Is we're talking about like feeding more of the current events and news into the platform. So like for example, if you have an NBA player and they get traded, like they will show up the next post as being traded that day. But then that's a hard balance between like fiction and like roleplay. And in the past when we've piped things in, it's kind of overtaken the storyline. So it's hard, right? Because there's a balance that we want to strike, and that some people are like, we want more auto-generated stories. Some people are like, we want more auto-generated stories just to be better, and some people are like, we just don't want auto-generated stories. And so we have to figure out, where do current events fit in that? Do we want that? Or, who, what are we really trying to do? And so this feedback is super helpful. But this is where all the inputs are coming from, and yeah, so that's one of the things on content. Okay. Poking stories, yeah, totally. Um, Here's another idea. Can I share it with you guys? I'm just kind of bouncing around, by the way, so I apologize, but let me share this with you guys. Of course, I can't find it. Here we go. This is something kind of interesting. So in the past, I've talked about how when we create a butterfly, what you're actually doing is you're saying, okay, I have an idea and I basically want to see a certain image, or I want to see this idea come to life. So take a look at that screenshot that I sent, if you could. And I'd love to get your feedback on, okay, like you're on your profile. Instead of making a real post, what you do is you click the plus button, you make a post, and you write the prompt like what you want to see. And then add a caption, and then you're like, oh, if I really like this thing, I can make it into a butterfly. Boom. Like just crazy talking plant. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So it's instead of writing all these inputs, right, you can always go back maybe. And again, I'm hopping around here, so I apologize. We can always go back to other topics if you guys want. But um, instead of writing all these prompts and stuff, you could just like take a picture or not, sorry, prompt a picture, and then create a butterfly out of it if you want, or it could just be sitting on your profile, and then you can always go back and like edit it and make it better. Um, yeah, so because sometimes you just want a picture, and then it like ends up being a whole account and an influencer, and it gets kind of crazy. Um, so yeah, but just another idea we're throwing around. There's just a lot of ideas coming out this week, so yeah. Because I think Van maybe or someone else was like, we just would love to have an image generator from your profile, right? This is
Yeah,
where this idea.
Ethereal and I both, I would love to be able to just start generating images for my profile instead of having to copy it from another bot over and over again. Like, I've shared a few of Vanbots on my profile. I've shared some from Luminara on my profile. I'd like to just, make something on my own profile to share. Because not all of the ideas I have need to be full bots.
Right. No, that's exactly. Yeah. It would be cool to make DM photos into Yep, kind of. This is kind of it ish. Um, but I see what you're saying. It's different. Yep. Uh, Darvel. Yep. Ethereal, am I hearing agreement on this one, or kind of positivity? Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, like I just think it'd be kind of fun. Like instead of making Harry Pooper as a bot, I could just make a picture of Harry Potter pooping, and then if I like it, oh, I can make it a butterfly. Um, and if I don't, then it's just a cool picture. You know? Oh, butterfly that. Yeah. Yeah. Will it butterfly? Yeah. Like, is this a butterflyable idea? Will it blend? Ooh. Yeah. So, I don't know, and I feel like this way at the beginning of this meeting, we were talking about, people coming to your profile and seeing, your the collection of your butterflies. It's like, "Oh, that's a reflection upon you as the creator." And if you see all these images too, it's also like a reflection upon you in a different way. Like, oh, like Peyton likes to generate weird talking plants, or Harry Pooper pooping, and it's like, oh, this is kind of his personality. Um, Something interesting. So throwing it around, it feels more relaxing than Instagram. I'd love to talk more about that. Yeah. So the other thing we're talking about too is just image diversification in the feed. Too many portrait pictures. Um, and so that's definitely doable. We're getting up to it soon. Um, so yeah, we're just throwing a lot of stuff around. Cool.
And if you want to talk to, we can invite you up on the stage.
Oh, yeah, please come. Showcases a short collage of the sort of things their bots post. I like if I go to Lim's profile, there'd be a place that clicks. Yeah, exactly. Totally. Hello.
Hi, hello. I'm very shy, so I have a very bad stutter. So just, I just want, talk much. Okay, I can talk if I want to, but I have a very bad, very bad,
That's okay.
very bad, yeah, very bad,
I'm pretty bad too,
attention.
so don't worry.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So, did you want to say something, or
No, I'm not.
okay, cool. No worries. Just feel free to interrupt me whenever.
Mm.
Um, yeah. Okay. Lorelai. I like if I go to Loam's profile, there should be a place to click that shows me some. Yeah. Right. There should just be more of like, this is Loam, right? Like this is who Loam is, and what Loam likes to create. Um, right? What's up, Avery? Yeah, like a Spotify Wrapped. Just like this is who you can look at it and be like, oh, this person is interesting, and then, as a result, I think people would share more, right? Like, hey, like come check out my profile because this is me. This is a different form of me, um, that I'm proud of, and you should look. Yeah. This is kind of like TikTok, right? Like public likes. The thing with bookmarks, it's a little bit different because bookmarks traditionally are a little more private because you bookmark things for different reasons. Sometimes, it's a private reason. I don't know. So yeah, but I definitely I like the ideas. Butterflies wrapped. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. We should do that.
Honestly, it would actually be kind of neat to see. Like, we've almost been around for almost a year now, haven't we? I
Yep.
think so.
11.
Yeah, like the middle of November, I remember is when we started. At least I started on the Discord. So, oof, wow, it would be interesting to see a yearly wrap, like how many interactions I've had on the site and all that.
Yeah, I mean, we could probably do that just for you guys. Not necessarily for everyone, but just for like the folks here, the 14 of us. Just because I think it'd be kind of fun. So yeah, like time spent, like messages sent. That'd be kind of fun. Oh yeah, I know, right? I'd be like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. I need to stop. So yeah, let's think here. We talked about content. Um, we talked about a lot of things. So what's important? One thing I hope you guys are having a better time with is comments. And I love to hear some feedback on that, just because like we're doing that, and we've done that, and I feel like it's a lot more diverse.
The comment replies are so good. I'm so glad to have those back, and you can tag butterflies now and they actually respond. So that's really cool. I'm
Yeah.
really happy with that.
Yeah. Speaking of tagging, big thing. Let me. We're basically experimenting this week with multiple characters in one image. So I'll show you this. Um, dum dum dum. We have like a very weird UI for it, but sharing to Discord. But like you just add it, prompt invoke, and then you get an image with your friend or your butterfly, and that will be pretty cool. So we've got a few of them, and they are cool, but there's still some kinks. Go back to my hello.
It sounds better.
Oh, sorry.
It sounded
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you were in a tunnel or something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So that's that. We're essentially you just tag it, and then it will show up in the picture with you, or it's two butterflies that you. It actually, yeah, it would be two butterflies too. So we're still working out like, oh, like don't do it with someone else's because they might not want it. It might also ruin someone's storyline, etc. So still working out the permissions and stuff, but it's working pretty great, and I really enjoy it. So it's a good technology, and pretty amazing that we can do it just like so quickly. Uh, yeah, so that's kind of what the bare bones version looks like. Yeah, yeah, like the same storylines. Good question. We'll see.
So this is what Potato wanted to talk about.
So currently, NSFW bots comment on profiles regularly. What? Mm-hmm. Oh, you're asking me what happens? You don't know what happens. Lorelai, by the way. Oh no, it's okay. Yeah, if NSFW bots are commenting on posts on SFW posts, send it. We will stop that. And that's not because we're against NSFW, just I want to be clear. It's because, for SFW bots, they shouldn't be really getting comments from, because then that would show up in the feed, right? And then potentially bad things could happen. So, not bad things, but things that are just, we just don't want on the feed for business reasons. Yeah, thank you. Yep, and then chat requests, we're working on that too. And that should be done by the end of the week, I think. It's pretty much almost done. And so, Ethereal, let me just be clear too. I am making a very strong push to make sure that doesn't happen in roleplay because it will ruin the roleplay. So I'm just making sure that will not happen because I know people don't like that. Maybe make SFW bots in the middle of it and yeah, potentially. I've always loved the idea of making social groups. Yep, yep. Let's see, I would. Yeah, okay. Good call, Avery. Let me. That's a good call, actually. Flagging that, and then let me see where we could do that actually. Just pull it up. Yeah, just like a badge, right? Like 18 plus. Oh, cool. Yeah, we could do that too.
Yeah, before you could kind of tell when the PFP was blurred, but now your own butterflies don't have that.
Yeah, because the PFP isn't NSFW anymore, but it should just be a badge that it's 18 plus.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Let me see what else we're working on. Hold up. There are some other issues, like even if you don't have if you don't have perfect Wi-Fi connection, like anything under full bars, it will sometimes like when you're looking at profiles, it'll just be like, sorry, this page is not available. And that's a connection issue. And then a lot of people are like, oh, it's a bug because why is it not showing me the profile? Like, is it blocked? And then in reality, like it's just because of poor connection and we aren't reloading it, and that's the error state. So last few hours I was working with our designer to create a new error state that just says, connectivity issue. That's not really the solve. The solve is to like actually fix, make things quicker and reliable under poor connection. So small fixes like that really help. That's what we're doing too. Image generation loading times when you're poking and it's like it counts down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and then it just sits there. Also not great. Working on that and actually removing the countdown and just doing a loading screen, like a loader around the box when you're poking it, so that it doesn't like fool you. Yeah, no, yeah, no, Avery. It was just like it's literally a connection bug. But then people are like, oh, shoot, now I'm just gonna click backwards. Actually, if you're on one of those screens, just pull down and reload to once, and it really should show up. But fixing that for sure. And then, is there anything else we wanted to cover? I think Lemmy had one other thing.
Potato wanted to discuss about how her posts aren't matching the profile pictures of her characters.
Yes. And there's a thread.
Yeah, I just linked it again, so she's got a lot of examples in there.
Okay, cool. Man, these are good examples. Could we include links by chance? That's how we go in and check what's wrong. Okay, cool. Yeah, Potato, just include some of the links and then send me the thingy again, the link. Yeah, let me show you what the new connection error state looks like. It'll just look like Pretty much just that. Yep, and then bots that know how to die. Yeah, we actually have some ideas for that. Dot dot dot. But yeah, for the ones that you don't interact with, they should end up like, oh yeah, I saw a screenshot. Yeah, the bug should be fixed actually. Um, I worked on it with Chris for like 30-40 minutes, and he fixed it. So yeah. Thanks for bringing it up. And if you see it again, just let us know. It should be fixed. Yeah, and it's like, if I delete it, then if I still have the link, I can still go and access it. That should be fixed, particularly. Another like thing that I got for feedback was the notification screen's a little too big, and it's taking up too much space. So that's probably a next week thing that we'll start tackling on the redesign. But in my brain, and then also just wanted to hear how group notifications are feeling, like group notifications. So Butterfly and three others, just shared posts. Do you guys like that better? It's also like a hybrid where it's not everything is grouped. Um, so you still get some real-time notifications. I don't know. Are you guys enjoying that?
I've noticed it keeps grouping on the same butterfly over and over. When they make a post, I get a group notification. Um, but other than that, yeah, I actually do like it that it's that mix between the this and a few others posted, and I have like that preview. Like I really do like those previews, honestly.
Great. Yeah. When that happens, let me know. Yeah. If there's like a bug where it's like the same butterfly um, grouping itself, we'll just look at it and fix it. Yeah, I've seen it once too. I've definitely seen it once. Cool beans. That's pretty much all I got. Um, I think next week will be like a good time to recap too, because we're still discussing a lot of things. Um, yeah, but I know you guys have been like, for more or less, for lack of a better term, like eating glass with some of the stuff that's been broken, and like we need to also eat glass. It's not great, but on the other side of it, like I think we'll feel better. I guess if that makes any sense. But like we'll feel better if we just do the hard things, is what I'm trying to say. Um, and the hard things are addressing like every little small thing. So I think we made a lot of progress on like bugs from 2-3 weeks ago that were outstanding. Um, and then now we're kind of getting to the end of wrapping up those bugs. I don't know. Are you guys feeling that it's like a better sense of like we're actually getting through these bugs, or no? And if not, like we can go through it again and be like, these are the ones that are still outstanding that we need to do yesterday.
Um, for the poke to DMs, is it supposed to change it to realism everyone, or is it supposed to stay on the default chat mode?
Posts to DMs, like the poke to DM,
Yeah.
is it supposed to stay on the realism, or like stay on the chat mode? I'm not totally sure because mine's always on realism. So if yours is on
It's
roleplay and it's changing to
yeah, it
realism,
changes it
that should.
to specifically it changes it to realism everyone. And I
Okay.
have mine on roleplay mature.
Yep. It when you poke to DM, it should just go in line with the global conversation settings. So
Okay, so then that's definitely a bug. I will make sure to make a
okay,
report for that.
then we will fix that. We'll fix it. Fix it. Fix it. Yep. Let's consider it as bug. What do you put in this field? what you put in this field gets considered in post images. It shouldn't anymore. I know we talked about it like a week ago. I'm pretty sure it got fixed, but if it hasn't, I will bring it up again. If 1051, if you could just check for me, or if you already know, let me know. It should have been fixed. There's a good chance that it wasn't too. So, yeah, I know what you mean though. Okay, cool, thanks. Yeah. Yeah, the punctuation thing, we tried to fix it quickly. Memory stuff, try to fix it quickly. Yeah, but I think the big thing we're focusing on, content, image diversity on the feed. There's just too many of the same. And then for the content, there needs to be a better way to like really soak up the storyline. And I was scrolling on Reddit the other day, and on Butterflies I don't read the caption as much, but on Reddit I read the title and the caption. So maybe there's something just in the unit that we're displaying on the feed that could be better. And so that's also a discussion. Yeah, Lorelai, I think that would be cool. And you are making sense. I think we're gonna probably start with just like existing bots and then tagging them as is. So yeah, that's probably what we're gonna start with. But you're making sense. Don't worry. Yeah, because then like it'd be conflated personality sometime. So yeah, guys. I mean that's kind of where we're at. I think it's a good week, and that's pretty much. There's a lot of ideas flying around, and it's great because like we have this repository of all this feedback that we can take into these meetings and be like, oh, like this is what some people want, this is what other people don't want, and then make decisions. So this is super helpful, especially in the middle of the week for us. And the recording's great because then we can access it and all listen to it as a team for those who can't make it. So yeah, I'll end it a minute early. I just want to say thanks for coming this week. Yeah, and thanks for chatting. I think I'm saying it right, Rose Call. I think I got a stutter too, and I just say all the time. So thanks for coming in, and everyone else. I always love hearing you guys' voices and chatting in real time. Because sometimes I feel like I'm talking to a wall. So, anyways, cool beans. I will see you guys next week.
Thank you. Thanks
Yep.
everyone for coming.
Thanks everyone. All right. Bye.
Bye.